All right, guys, we are here with the final replay or final match of the BOA Best of America 4 finals. Final. I like saying that word. This is match 3. So let's take a look here. We've got same lineups as match 2. KRK opening up with his usual good manners. Definitely unlike myself or anybody else. So, let's see what happens. We all know the result, but this was a good match, regardless of that. And all the matches were good, except maybe the first one, but definitely the first round was also good, um, where I played Duran. Now, Reaperman, we did a little different thing here. My theory was this. My theory was that they had put Reaperman on Makanas to kind of neutralize his early game. Same thing with Zava on me, with the blinking and ganking and all his BS. So I said, let me take Reaperman. I know he can't really steal my box, because he doesn't know how to do it right. Versus Quakers, because he has more damage. So it's a little trick you got to do. But I said, I can probably slow Reaperman down. I know that if he's going to have to trade lanes, it's going to kind of ruin his momentum. So we traded in the beginning, and it paid off. I'm trying to get... Yeah, I think I die. Reaperman harassing the crap out of me there, as usual. Good APM early game. I'm actually at 80, which I guess isn't... Well, I don't know. You don't do much with Quakers in the beginning. Reaperman at 50. That's about less than 1 click per second. Well, I don't know how you can manage that. You gotta be really patient. And KRK, of course, usually the highest, 147 average. Looks like everyone did get their 440 response, which is good. I'm gonna go for... I got another mana card and potion. I'm gonna go for a kill on Reaper here. I know that I wasted my potion there. It's just so silly. But it doesn't matter. As long as Bear 9 can be out pushed and not have control over the lane and put all those mines up, then we're okay. Just gonna wait for everything to come my way here. Let's see what KRK is up to. Frame rate is getting less as we speak. No good. Hitting one of those little lag spikes or something. Those chemical bombs, I'm not sure where the graphic or unit for that is, but in In the, what do you call it, campaign, the arcade game you can play on the battle cruiser. That little like shoot 'em up kind of game. Arcade trying to go for a kill there by out pushing Matt. Anyway, in that arcade game, one of the power-ups, bombs, is that little grenade thing that they use for B9. Team 1 switching, becoming aware of our little strategy here and switching. But at this point, Makanis have given him enough time to not get super harassed. And we're going to switch again at this point, just to keep messing with Reaper and neutralize that option so that Makanis can be a little more useful in mid-game. Trying to fight over that tank, and looks like I do get it. Trying to get to that thing so I can charge it, but Quakers is so slow in the beginning that you really, sometimes you can get really trapped in various things. Matt, taking an opportunity to get his tanks while KRK is away. While the cat's away, the mice can play. And again, Pac-Man kind of dominating middle with KRK. Always sticking together, really good combo. They have really good teamwork. KRK and Pac-Man are probably some of the best support and PvP guys together that I think actually probably the best support and PvP teamwork. Early game at least, they have I think the best teamwork. Very solid early to mid game. You know what I'm doing. If I smell food, I will go and eat it. And another time I baited their greedy ganking. Yeah, not a good idea to blink down into range of Quakers. That is not a good idea at all. Reaperman now, because of Pac-Man and all of them, he's kind of isolated. Although Makanis, good beam by Matt, but Makanis is heading back to the base, so couldn't really do much. As you can see, that early map control by Team 1 is really starting to come a little bit unfolded here. Because of that trading, Makanis and Matt have been able to be a little more active. So we're definitely getting the lead on this. I'm back up to being quite a bit ahead. I was waiting for those tanks to spawn. Makanis getting his tanks now. Reaper is definitely behind. Pac-Man also behind level 8. So that little move in the beginning I don't think was expected. Oh man, KRK knows me so well. Yep, that's exactly what I would say. It's true. I am so predictable that you might as well have Map Pack when you play against me. Reaperman getting his tank stolen, well, trying to steal, but getting it counter stolen, I guess. Pac-Man going in for a very risky push there, Anton style. I remember Anton used to go in there without any shields, just really early and try to get those turrets. Well, it was a different game back then. You know, those turrets were worth way more experience than they are now. And they had less hit points too. Since the player since would have been a really interesting component for Team One, I think. It's one thing I would have liked to see. Well, I don't know if I would have liked to see it, but definitely would have been interesting. At this point, KRK is hanging on to his levels, trying to do the best he can to kind of support his team. But our little trade did influence Pac-Man and Reaper Man's leveling. Yeah, at this point, you know, Pac-Man is too turtled up there to do any kind of pursuit. We'll just wait for the creep to come. Reaperman, at this point, you know, like I said, this strategy worked pretty well. He definitely, Mechonis now has the edge. Nice teamwork there by Mechonis and Matt. They actually have pretty good teamwork together early game. Pretty decent. Some of these plays I've seen, pretty good teamwork. I don't really have teamwork with anybody. I just like to rush in there, and if you're there to support me, good. If not, whatever. Kind of like Pac-Man or Reaper Man. I'm kind of more of a solo guy. I'm saving up potions at this point just so I can really push hard. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Kanas doesn't want to overcommit there, but he does harass Reaper. Another double kill there. At this point, you know. That was actually a very significant kill because tank respawns are like right now. You can see 1735. We got a free push and free tanks for 2 lanes, which I mean that's a huge marker for leveling in mid game. But if you're pro like Matt and you lose that opportunity by blinking when you shouldn't and just dying, then sure. Matt told me. Yeah, I knew he was coming. I saw him. I was like, all right, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna take this tank with me. Matt told me he saw these replays, and he's like, dude, you are the greediest player I've ever seen, and it's true. I am extremely greedy. Like I think 9 out of 10 of my deaths come from greed. Yeah. Well, Team 1 was able to kind of catch up a little bit, even though we had that, yeah, we had some critical deaths there that allowed them to get their momentum back after respawning. But still, we haven't pushed as much as they have, so those levels can change. We're already a little bit higher, and we haven't pushed, so we still are technically ahead. KRK coming. Reapman chasing Matt. Good suicide by Matt. Good reaction time by Makanis there. I mean, that was only what, like 5 seconds of getting attacked and no shield. So Team 1, again, coming to the forefront with their main strategy, which is very aggressive middle control and pushing early to mid game. That seems to be the basis for their teamwork and stuff. Whereas we were much more defensive, trying to farm and kind of delay the game until later. I've pushed my bunker at this point. Reaper getting away there looks like with just under, a few hit points there. That was really close. Kana's his bunker down. That's tough. That happens to me all the time. I'll die right before it's like, 100 hit points or something silly. KRK always prepared, always has a portal. By the time he has 1,000 or 1,500 shields, he will always have a portal. I'm just amazed at how Reaper, again, like every game I cast, I'm just amazed by Reaper's APM. 64 average. I mean, he's not bad. Like, he's pretty good, but how do you do everything you do with 64? And he does, like I said, he does pretty well. Like, I just don't understand it. Maybe Reaper's a genius, he's one of those kids that sees universal patterns or something. Nice kill there by Makanis. Turtle style with that shield. Almost made up that pushing difference. Common strategy for them, really well done, is one of them keeps vision and when the other one harasses with balls. 2 blinkers on the same team is pretty hard to deal with early game. Like that's pretty good early game domination. But nice kill there by Makanis. Team 1 desperate for pushing at this point. I'm not sure what Maconis is doing. He didn't realize that we still have this to go. At this point, I just told Matt, I said, alright, I'm going to take your shit if you don't hurry up. Pac-Man taking a lot of harass, and he will go down with that curse. KRK, very, very sneaky, very, very aware of blinking and stuff. Very hard to deal with that Ice Mage and Blink. But at this point, you know that the original Reaperman going for a suicide there. Last resort. The original kind of strategy we did really messed up their early game, which was very good, but obviously their early game was very dependent on a very set kind of way of doing things. Pac-Man trying to go for the kill, but I do manage to escape with a hair just in time for Matt to come and save me. Thank you, Matt. Such a helpful team person. But yeah, as you can see, the team dynamics for Team 1 really kind of crumbled a little bit with that switching in the beginning. It relied on very specific matchups for a very specific time period. So Team 1 probably should have had more flexibility in their team arrangement. Not so much the players. The players were all very good. Everybody here, I mean, this is the best. This is the top people, minus Artemis obviously, and maybe Sudoku as well. But this is really some of the top people that North America has. So any team arrangement in this case is going to be pretty good, but it's more about hero choices and how those heroes work together and when specifically, because some heroes work better early game, some heroes work better late game. We're really pushing hard, but we may be overcommitting ourselves. I die, of course. Those tanks just respawned. Makana's pinging like crazy. I don't know why he's pinging. It's like, okay, we see him coming. One asset that may have been different, which I wonder in this case, was if Reaperman had gone nukes. Really going for that push. And that's probably one thing that... Nice kill there by Pac-Man and Kirk, by the way. That's one thing that, I remember Pac-Man was debating whether or not to have Barzark instead on their team. And Barzark's good as well, but, I'd say they're both comparable with Bear 9. The only difference is that Barzark probably has a little more game sense as far as how he would have responded to all the switching in the beginning. Nice kill by Maconis. That was really good. Probably a better player, I shouldn't say better, but more experienced player, would have saw that and said, okay, I'm not going to get away with PvP in the beginning of the game, so, might as well just focus on pushing and going Armageddon and really just knocking things down rather than wasting my time with PvP, because the PvP build, everything we did was to counter that in the beginning so that it wouldn't delay Maconis so much. So having gone gun, in this kind of match and how it developed in the beginning probably wasn't the best idea. And that would have made a difference, I think. I don't know if they would have won because, again, late game, um, all of us are pretty, pretty much late game hero oriented, but it certainly may have made a difference. So who knows? At this point, we're quite a bit ahead. 12-4, 20 assists. Or whoops, no, 30-12. Sorry, I just looking at Macanas' score. 30-12 and 20 assists. 11 assists coming through for Team One. Definitely a weaker of the matches so far. KRK going for a push, but every player's early game was really kind of affected in this match, and so you don't really see kind of the power that KRK was bringing to the previous match, and teamwork also that they had. Pac-Man on his own, he's going to take the opportunity to go push while his allies defend. Not sure what that was, but that was just kind of fun. I mean, everything is just so messy in this round. People are just all over the place. It's not as teamwork is not as concise and just well done as the second match. KRK retreating to that spawn area. My favorite thing to do in this game is to get to the point late game where I have like 50 armor, get even more armor with the card, and follow people into the respawn area and just like finish a kill. It's so ridiculous. I think I have that in one of these matches. Like I think round 1 I do that with Duran versus Pac-Man's team. Good defense there by team 1. That Ice Mage really packing in that damage. Reaper Man could use more mines, even though Macanas is really staying on top of it. He could be setting some mines. Yeah, I didn't buy a warp this game until late. I mean, it's just like so silly. Just everything is all over the place. I don't even have max shields. Reaperman could have really helped them out with Armageddon here because that would have made up the pushing difference. And although again their defense is going to be pretty secondary to ours, you know, their offense is going to be really good with Zava, Soul Hunter, and Armageddon. That would have maybe saved them. I really don't know. This was the deciding match, so. And I think we're going to win here soon. No, we still have another 2 minutes. finally use my warp. That's the first warp I used in the entire game. It's terrible. KRK repairing there, dragging this out as much as he can. 1500 shields. Reaper doing a lot of turret dives, but just, at this point you have to stay with your team. You really cannot afford to be going solo, just like Pac-Man over here. Like both, one thing that really, crumbled their teamwork is that, they just started going by themselves. Have a desperate attempt, both Pac-Man and Reaper Man, to try to regain their lanes. Making a lot of sacrifices and stuff. This is like the end, this is the moment of truth. KRK standing, strongly by his fortress. Boom. And then just taking it. Good game though, I respect every single player in this, and good job to Reaper Man for making it as far as he has. I know he started with in-house a few months ago, and he's come a long way. So good job to Team 1. Very good matches. It was an honor playing against you guys. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again in another month or two. So good games, and thanks.